holidays are coming up. That can either be a great thing or it can be very stressful. It can either be an opportunity for you to grow closer with your teenager, or it can be an opportunity to push you and your teenager further apart. Today, we're going to focus on this holiday challenge. The holidays are coming up, and that can either be a great thing or it can be very stressful. It can either be an opportunity for you to grow closer with your teenager, or it could be an opportunity to push you and your teenager further apart. So that is the reason why I have this challenge, because I want to challenge you to take on one of these strategies that's going to help you reach your child on a deeper level. Now, some of you guys out there, you have a relationship with your teenager where it's pretty much okay. It's not terrible, it's just okay. Well, if you try one of these strategies, it should help you to grow closer. Some of you have an amazing relationship with your child. They tell you everything. They're honest with you. They're open with you. You guys are just connect on so many different levels. Well, if you take on one of these challenges today, the goal is to help you to reach your child on a deeper level. So I don't care how the relationship is, take on this challenge because I guarantee it will help you reach a higher level. All right, so what I have for you is 3 different strategies. So as you know, I'm a teen life coach. I've coached over 7,000 teenagers. I've been coaching for almost a decade. And I also coach parents. And a lot of the tools that I use, that I help parents with, are tools that were created working with teenagers. Some of it was just a light bulb moment happened as I'm talking to the teenagers. Some of it is like the teenagers are saying, hey, I wish my parents would do this. And I'm like, that's a good idea. So these tools that I'm going to share with you will absolutely work. All I'm asking you to do is to choose one. All right, just focus on one. And your job is to implement this strategy for the rest of the year. Now, I know in our coaching program, some of the busiest times of the year for us is January, right? Like New Year's resolution. Also when school starts again. But I'm going to encourage parents that if you're serious about reaching your child on a deeper level, you actually want to choose the holidays. That's the best time to get help. And the reason for that is this is one of the most unique times of the year where you have a lot of FaceTime with your child. So when I'm saying FaceTime, yes, you see your child. You see your child come home from school after practice. They eat dinner. They go back in their room. The weekends, they have sports, right? You see your child, but to actually have real quality FaceTime with your child, you see that more during the holidays. Because even in the summer, the parents are still working, right? The teenagers may be doing some things. So this is a time when the parents are not working, the teenagers are not at school. Generally speaking, there's no sports, and you have a lot of FaceTime with your child, and that's why this is the most critical time. This is the time you want to be using these strategies. If you're already in my program, these are the times that you want to be practicing the strategies you already know. So if you're ready to take this challenge, listen up. I'm going to give you 3 strategies that has been proven to work for our parents, and I'm going to share them with you. The first one is my favorite, and that is family meetings. I absolutely love family meetings. It's shocking to me why there's no one talking about family meetings. Like literally no influencer. There's no like expert psychologist. No one is talking about family meetings. I've been screaming to the top of the roofs about family meetings for like 5 years. 5 years I've been saying family meetings. You must have family meetings. Remember, your family is a unit. I believe the problem with a lot of families is that everyone is kind of separate. There's nothing to bring them together and work on some common goal. Now, it's not to say that each family member can't have their own interests, can't have their own goals, but there should be something that unites the family other than, hey, we need to eat dinner. There needs to be some goal that you're pursuing together. So my first challenge whether you want to accept this one or not, there's two more, is to create family meetings. Do your first family meeting. Now, if you're in my program, I have an entire training on this. It's in your portal. Just look it up under additional trainings, and you will see a training on family meeting. But if you're not in my program, I'm going to encourage you to set up a family meeting. Now, family meetings, I'm gonna give you some basic tips on those. It's not a place for you to reprimand your child. That is not the format for family meetings. The goal of a family meeting is to get everyone to participate and to choose a goal that everyone contributes to accomplish that goal. So that is what family meetings are all about. My recommendation is start it this holiday. It's very simple to start it. So that is the first challenge I have for you guys, one of the strategies that you can choose. Now, number two is one that I like a lot. It works like tremendously. And once again, no one talks about it. Literally no one. I have not heard anyone talk about this second strategy. This strategy will absolutely work. And that is the appeal system. So I'm going to encourage you in your home to create an appeal system. So what is an appeal system? Well, it's the same kind of system we have set up in our courts, right? It's a way for the person to either challenge or dispute the decision that was given. In this case, this would be an opportunity for your child to dispute or challenge your decision. Now, some of you already know are thinking like, RJ, what are you talking about? There's no way I'm choosing that one. Well, hear me out. Now, if you allow yourself and your family to have this appeal system, then what is it encouraging? Number one, it encourages your child to be honest. Because let's be frank, a lot of the reasons why teenagers lie is not even that they're worried about the consequences. They're more worried that you're going to say no and they're going to miss out. That is the reason why they lie. So if you have an environment where you can appeal a decision, then the child can be honest. They can say, hey, I want to do the sleepover. Now, I will tell you, there will be girls and boys at the sleepover. Before, they would say, oh, it's going to be just, it's just the guys, it's just us hanging out, right? And they're lying. Not because they're worried about the consequences, because they worry that you're going to say you can't go. But and you have an appeal system, they can say, hey, I'm going to be honest with you, it's going to be girls and boys, but everything's going to be great. There's a chaperone, all these things. And then you can still say no. That's the beauty of the appeal system. You can still say no, but it gives them the opportunity to appeal it. Now, the second advantage of having an appeal system, it teaches your child how to create an argument. All right, now anybody who's a lawyer out there or whoever has been in debate, I was in debate when I was in high school, that an argument doesn't have to be a bad thing. Now, right now, teenagers don't really understand how to do that. A lot of times there's some back talk, there's some attitude, and I see it on both sides, the parents and the teens. But we're going to give them and we're going to teach them how to form an argument, how to get your thoughts together in an organized manner to present it to your parents with the hope that you accomplish the goal of overturning their decision. That is something that I believe is groundbreaking for teenagers because they've never been taught how to do that. So we do this in my program. We help the teenagers. I actually personally teach the teenagers in a group format of how to properly form an argument, how to bring up an argument to your parents. There's a lot that goes into that. It has to be at the right time. There has to be some appearance that you even understand why they told you no in the first place. I mean, if you go in and just ignore the fact that they said no, you probably won't have success, right? You have to address the reason why they are saying no. So there's some tools for a teenager to use to give you an appropriate argument so that you guys can have a meaningful discussion. So the appeal system is great for that. So that's number two. Hopefully you guys will choose that one. And the final one I have for you, and that is to get rid of your rules. That's it. That's the third strategy. Get rid of the rules. All of the rules, just take them. They're on a piece of paper, crumble it, and throw them out. That is your third challenge. Now, it'll be funny. I could just stop talking here, and you'll be thinking to yourself like, RJ, what's happening here? It's like anarchy. No, what I'm saying is get rid of your rules and focus on boundaries. They're two different things. There are rules and there are boundaries. I'm going to tell you the easiest way to determine the difference. Rules, they focus on what you can't do. Boundaries focus on the freedom that's in between. All right, so rules focus on the things that you can't do. Boundaries focus on the freedom that's in between the boundaries. So whenever you choose boundaries, things will change in your home. If you choose boundaries, you're going to notice that there's less fighting. There's less you getting upset. Because one thing I've learned about parents is that some parents, especially ones that are OCD, we major in minor things. So these parents, they major in minor things. What does that mean? It's like every little thing the child does wrong is called out and there's a consequence to it. Rules need to be thrown out. We need to create boundaries. Boundaries actually support you more than rules. Because there's this kind of really cool thing that happens with the brain. And the brain is so powerful and it's so amazing that it recognizes things that are common. It recognizes things that are consistent. And it almost starts to throw them out the brain. What really catches the attention is something that's new in the brain. So imagine if you're a parent and say, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do that, you're in trouble, you're in trouble, you're in trouble. Over time, guess what? That voice, that frequency of your voice, it goes in one ear and out the other. The kid is not paying attention, they're not focused. But the cool thing about boundaries is it allows the child to have freedom to make mistakes. That's the beauty about it. They have freedom to choose the right thing. They have freedom to choose maybe not the right thing. And they can make mistakes. And the advantage of these boundaries is the parents are not actually worried about all the tiny little mistakes that happen every single day. You didn't clean your room. You just talked back to me. You didn't turn your homework. It's just so much for the child. So when you have boundaries, it allows the parent to only use their voice for the big things. All right, because it's the boundary. Now you could do a lot in here, but once you cross this line, now I'm stepping in, right? So now my voice, my authority is highlighted, it's heightened. So that's the advantage of boundaries. Another thing about boundaries, which is really cool, is that we focus on consequences, but it's not one-sided. We focus on consequences if they do the wrong thing, yes. But what happens if your child stays within the boundary? What happens? I always say that doing the right thing is the most boring thing in life. Because rarely do you get anything from doing the right thing, right? You get a lot of attention from doing the wrong thing, right? You get people are focusing on you, your parents, you're in trouble. It's a lot of attention. You do the right thing, it's no one knows you're even there when you do the right thing. So part of the boundaries is encouraging the child to choose, because there's consequences if you do the wrong thing. If you cross these boundaries, absolutely there's consequences. But guess what? There's also positive consequences if you stay within the boundary. So that is the advantage of boundaries. Once again, parents, if you're in my program, you've heard me talk about this before. I have full trainings on rules versus boundaries. Full trainings. I have a full training on the appeal system. All of these things, you heard me talk about it before. If you haven't heard me talk about it before, look in your portal. It's under additional trainings. You will find the appeal system. You will also find which one was the first one? I already forgot the first one. All right, so it's the appeal system and family meetings. Family meetings, how can I forget? Because it's my favorite one. All right, so in your portal, you will find family meetings and the appeal system. And then as far as rules versus boundaries, you should find that in module 6. So definitely, guys, I need you to choose just one of these strategies. Pick one and you commit to it. If it's family meetings, set the date for the family meeting. All right, if it's the appeal system, start, talking to your, if you have a husband or your wife, start talking about how are we going to handle this appeal system. And if it's the boundaries versus rules, it's very simple. Take all your rules, throw them away, and start creating boundaries. Now, if you're interested and life coaching for your teenager, or for you as a parent. Because as you know, part of our life coaching program, we coach parents, and we take the parents we take them through a process so they can learn how to be a coach, or at least put the coaching hat on whenever they are dealing with their teenagers. We can teach you all these things. So if you're interested, make sure you schedule a consultation at drrjjackson.com/coaching, or you could just put in the comment section below consultation. That works as well. But I hope you guys have an amazing, amazing Thanksgiving. Eat a lot of turkey and make sure you're choosing one of these strategies.